Doma Sports Talk Worldwide with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Now, this is just one of them I told you so videos. You know, it's going to come through every now and then, right? Because a guy, comes in, no horse in these races, and he just tells you what he thinks. And I'm sorry to be saying because I don't like to pat myself on the back, but damn it, I'm right most of the time. Right? Because you don't have a horse in the race. That's why. If you just watch boxing as a sport, like you would watch anything else, and don't care about all those little intricacies or whatever, and just watch sport like you watch other sports, then you will be able to just objectively give your opinion about boxing. Because you would just see what's going on. And when things are weird, if you look at it just like sport, then things get weird very quickly. What the hell is he talking about? Well, the bottom line is this. We had a lot of good fights this year. Matter of fact, tomorrow we're going to have Jamel Charlo versus Canelo Alvarez, the battle of two undisputeds in the middleweight division. I said middleweight because one is a junior middleweight and one is a super middleweight division. One is undisputed. The other one is undisputed with quotation marks because of the simple fact that Canelo was given the WBC belt. I don't think that should be possible when you're talking about undisputed. You know, that's disrespectful for the guys who really work to get every single belt. Canelo, why would you give? Every time I talk about it, I get upset again, even though this is not about that. But why would we give somebody a title and then call them undisputed after that? What would be the reason to do that? When you have other people really fighting to get undisputed, it's hard to get undisputed fights. But one guy can just be given a belt. And then most people think that's okay. Well, that's what I'm saying. If you watch boxing like that, you're looking at that, just like, that's some bogus stuff. Then you get something against the people who are allowing that to happen. No one would say anything about it. But why would we give somebody a belt and call them undisputed? Instead of saying, no, dude, you got to fight for somebody for this belt. And hey, it's a good fight because it's a guy named David Benavidez, who even Mike Tyson calls the Mexican Monster. He deserves that name, Mexican Monster. And some people deserve other names, Boogeyman and stuff like that. Because most of this stuff is real. David Benavidez is an issue, but even David Benavidez, as good as he is, as strong as he is in that super middleweight division, he has fights where he has reservations about it. And I don't think we should get on fighters for having reservations about fighting some people. Right? I think they should just admit it, like the old school fighters do. You hear people like George Foreman, as formidable as he was, as menacing as he was. George will tell you, man, I didn't want to fight this guy, and I really wasn't enthused about fighting this guy. And ain't nobody as scary as George Foreman. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has those opponents where, that's going to be a tough one, right? And so it brings me to the chairman of my Negro League fighters. Well, one of the chairmen. That'll be Demetrius Andrade. And y'all know I'll figure out a reason to talk about Demetrius Andrade because I think it's one of the most fascinating things for the good and for the bad in boxing. Probably boxing history, but not history because we have people, the murderous row and stuff like that. But you're talking about right now, with all this media, all the outlets, you have a person who's been awesome for 10 years. And he's always trying to fight the hard fights. Now, when he's one of these guys he won't fight or something like that, the people will mention that, right? Like a Zach Parker. I'm not fighting Zach Parker for $120,000 to put myself in position to fight Canelo. Because that's an idiotic thing to say. Oh, if he fights Zach Parker, then he's Canelo's mandatory. I fight him for 120, and then I'm Canelo's mandatory. Canelo gonna say no because he said no when it was an undisputed fight at 160 pounds, middleweight division. Canelo said no when Demetrius Andrade was the champion at 154, and he was the mandatory. So what would make him fight him after a Zach Parker fight? You know what I'm saying? So, that's just bogus. That's just things that people can say. Now, Demetrius Andrade, since his whole career, first of all, I'm still undefeated. Okay? And I'm a two-weight division champion. I'm going to my third one right now, trying to push up on somebody. We'll get to it. I'm a two-division champion, and I'm undefeated. Now, we have had him tracking down and doing everything to fight the best fighters in and around his division. Right? Well, look at the people we've seen him basically punk. Gennady Golovkin. He was trying to fight him when Gennady Golovkin was Gennady Golovkin, and all this menacing, punching power, best puncher in middleweight division. He basically punked them. I'm trying to fight you. What you want to do? We can unify, and if you want me to fight you, I'll fight you right-handed instead of you going to get Vanis Matterozin from a division lower or the 2-year layoff. offered to fight him orthodox. Can't get Gennady Golovkin. Went to the zone to get Gennady Golovkin. Can't get him. Who else he was trying to fight? Canelo Alvarez. We just mentioned his whole career. I'm the champion and you're not, but you don't want my belt. He begged him, called him out of his name. Get to the middleweight division. Same thing. I'm for the undisputed championship. All you have to do is beat me in your undisputed middleweight. No, I'd rather go up to super middleweight and fight about 3 fights to become undisputed up there. I have to fight Callum Smith for the WBA, and the WBC about to give me the other belt, so I got 2 real quick. Then I only got to fight Billy Joe Saunders and Callum Platt, and I got the other ones. Why the hell you think I'm going to go fight Demetrius Andrade for 1 fight and become middleweight champ? Not super middleweight undisputed, but middleweight undisputed. Glamour division, but I ain't doing that. And it's not about Canelo, it's about the boxing industry ignoring that move. That move is like Kevin Durant going to the damn Golden State Warriors after they win 73 damn games. One of them things you just is kind of unforgivable. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm going to say basketball right now, but damn it, you're Kevin Durant, you're 6'11", long-ass arms, can't nobody block your shot anyway. Now you're going to go to a team where spacing is the best ever. You got to stick Steph Curry in the parking lot when he get out the damn car, and you got to damn stick Klay Thompson. He's a sharpshooter. It's Clint Eastwood of 3-point shot shooting. It don't take him but a millisecond. He don't even need to dribble. The man scored 60-something points with 11 dribbles. Those 2 guys, that means their men can't leave them at all. So Kevin Durant could just go in the middle and play one-on-one the whole year, and we're going to be, after they 73 wins, which is the most in history, he's going to go to that team. So that kind of irks you, no matter what you say. Right? It's the same thing. Same damn thing. But we're going to keep it moving. Point is, Demetrius Andrade has been in trying to get all the hard fights, try to get Canelo, try to get Gennady Golovkin, his mandatory and Jaime Munguia, which would have been at least a high-profile fight because he's a Mexican. He can't get that either. Can't get his mandatory to fight him for 2 years. For crying out loud. Right? And then we still pointing at him and not all these busters that won't fight him. Canelo is the leader, Gennady Golovkin, Jaime Munguia. That's a trio of people. Now, we've seen him trying to get Jamal Charlo in the ring, who is also a formidable fighter. And now he's going to 168 to fight the baddest one, David Benavidez. Now, what are we hearing? We've been talking about this fight. It's going to happen for 6 weeks. David Benavidez versus Demetrius Andrade, right? Do you know that Steven Espinoza from Showtime, they want to put it on pay-per-view on November 24th or something we've been talking about for a while? It still ain't signed, right? Still ain't signed. But you know who signed it? The guy who's never had a huge fight, right? The one who did this and did that. Right, Demetrius Andrade. His is signed. He's ready, moving up to fight a heavier guy. His is signed. David Benavidez isn't, right? Because actually, even though he's the monster, his rumors are that his father has reservations about making this damn fight, right? Just like he had reservations about fighting David Morrell, who is the other dangerous guy in that division, right? These are the guys that Canelo ain't fighting no matter what. But Demetrius Andrade seems to be wanting to fight David Benavidez, and David Benavidez is stalling, just like I told you. But imagine what kind of fighter would make David Benavidez a little hesitant, or his father, whoever it is. Why are we so hesitant? The guy's smaller than you. He doesn't fight that often. Why he doesn't fight that often is obvious, because there ain't nobody getting in the ring with him. And every time somebody is hating on him, those are people who has seen him fight, and it's like, shit, don't let that guy get in the ring, because when we watch him fight, you know what time it is. Look at the best female fighter of all time, Clarissa Shields. Clarissa Shields says he's the most avoided fighter in the thing. She wants to see him fight. He's the most avoided fighter in boxing, and she would like to see him fight these names. But these names ain't having it. And the reason why that works is because it's boxing. Because in any other sport, you wouldn't be allowed to avoid somebody who's a damn champion, right? So this is an all hail, right? All hail Demetrius Andrade video. He's ready. David Benavidez or his father isn't yet. So what does that mean? That means that fight on November 24th might not happen. Another fight, high-profile fight, a dangerous fight for Demetrius Andrade, but he seems to always attend, and the other ones don't. So don't we want to agree that Demetrius Andrade is one of the most awesome fighters that's never had a big fight that you've ever seen? Think about it. Doma Sports Talk, worldwide. And I'm up out of here, y'all.